850,000 soldiers dead, $2 million spent. Knowledge about the Civil War is fairly common, but its catalysts are lesser known. A driving force for conflict was the major compromises made in Congress. The Great Compromise. This compromise decided to split Congress into the House and the Senate. Senators would serve for 6 years, while the House members for only 2. The minimum age for senators was 30, and the House was 25. Next was the 3/5 Compromise. In order to get more votes in Congress, Southerners wanted to count slaves in their amount of people, and the Northerners would only count them if they were given rights as citizens. They finally agreed that each slave would count as 3/5 of a person for representation. But the slaves still couldn't vote.
The next compromise was the Missouri Compromise of 1820. This compromise admitted Missouri as a slave state and Maine as a free state. However, this compromise was repealed in 1854 because of the Kansas-Nebraska Act. The idea of this group was introduced by Democratic Senator Stephen Douglas. The act states that slavery would be decided by popular sovereignty, meaning popular vote by residents in each territory. It also divided the land of Missouri into 2 territories, Kansas and Missouri. Lastly is the Compromise of 1850. It consisted of 5 laws pertaining to slavery. Fugitive slave law was amended and slave trade in Washington, D.C. was abolished. California entered the Union and became a free state. The boundary line dispute in Texas and New Mexico was settled. New Mexico established a territorial government. Also passed in 1850 was the Fugitive Slave Act. Federal marshals were then told to arrest runaway slaves. People who helped runaway slaves could be put in jail and fined. Frederick Douglass and William Lloyd Garrison led fights against this law. Anti-slavery leader Arthur Tappan was not willing to disobey the law. This resulted in a greater fund to the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was a network of people who helped fugitive slaves escape to the North or Canada. The South lost approximately 100,000 slaves. Mostly traveling during the night, but vigilance committees provided food, lodging, and money to runaway slaves. Many northern states supported the Underground Railroad, led by Harriet Tubman, but many people worked to keep it going. All of these events helped feed the flame that ignited the fuse of the Civil War.